going on, guys? Big Mike, D717 Outlaw, back with you today, working on the Busa. So the last video we ran into some clutch issues. We shipped the clutch off to FBR shop because it was the ride back device that actually gave us problems. So going on that, they were able to fix it. It was pretty quick turnaround, so thank you to Mr. Ford over at FBR shop. So there was an update to do on the clutch that I guess was like an oil flow thing, but the biggest thing that we had fixed was the puck that was in the center was basically falling out. So what we ended up doing, or what he ended up doing, was he re-welded it on the front, even welded it on the back. So that plate is in there pretty good. Now the other part too that was shot, which, let me grab the old one. So these ride back devices use a push rod and an air cylinder. So in the center, so if you think this sits on top of this push rod goes through here and it pushes on this. Well, when it pushes on this, that's what locks the clutch in. It basically mashes the top hat onto your plates. Well, you can see, you can kind of see how worn. You can see that this has seen better days. Well, there you can see it a little bit too. But also, is that if you line these up, the old one is probably about 1/8 of an inch shorter. So this one, the reason my ride back air pressure might have been up so high was probably because this wasn't actually like pressing the way that it's supposed to because of how much shorter. But also there is you can kind of see it there. There's a good sized groove here. So this rod's kind of on its way out. So we're gonna put a fresh rod in it and hopefully everything will be good. We just got to reset everything to how it was. I did save all my measurements, so my spring heights and everything like that. We're gonna run with the same weights and just go for it. I don't think it'll be too bad. Oh, the other upgrade, so you can kind of see here those little holes. Apparently that was a little bit of milling that was done for the ride back. So that allows a little bit of oil flow back in here for this push rod. So that way this isn't constantly just on metal dry all the time. So it helps with a little bit of oil flow. A little bit of an update for his system for FBR shop. But other than that, everything looks good. We're gonna go ahead and get it all mounted up because fingers crossed, Mother Nature is kind to us. Beaver Springs has a race this weekend. So yeah, let's go ahead and tear into this, guys, and get our clutch back together. And all right, guys, we got our clutch in, went through and double checked everything. So the way that I do my springs, so mine is like a 4,500 RPM launch. So these springs in here, from the top of the nut to the top hat is 0.8 inches. I do that for all of these springs, and so far it's been pretty good. I am debating possibly changing up the weights. I'm curious if I might have them a little bit too high. Maybe if I shorten them a little bit, it will kind of ride the clutch a hair further before it really grabs. Maybe fight the wheelies a little bit. But anyway, clutch is in. We're gonna go ahead and put the cover, the clutch cover back on because I forgot to do that. So yeah, almost done. Well, a couple days later, as you can tell, because the R6 is now on the workbench, the turbo bike is ready to go. We got everything put back together. The clutch is adjusted properly. I also had my dad come down and help me, and we went ahead and preset the sag on my shock, which I never did. It should be good. If not, I do have a spare Penske spring in the trailer. I think that is for a larger rider, which, I mean, I'm not a small guy, so in case this shock does, or the spring does not have the compression or the spring rate that we're looking for, I might swap that other spring on it and see if that helps us out at all. But everything's ready to go. Our biggest thing is hoping that Mother Nature lets us race, because right now, Beaver already canceled for Friday and Saturday, and today is Thursday. So the big thing is seeing what new media is going to do. That's where we were planning on going for points racing this weekend. We were only going to race on Saturday. We were going to do Saturday, Sunday, but Sunday is Mother's Day. Want to spend some time at home. And yeah, we're just trying to figure it out. We're playing it by ear. If not, we might try to run out of state, possibly go down to Cecil County in Rising Sun, Maryland, to get some testing in. At least just make sure that the bike is good. We did get some good passes. I did get my WDRA competition license, so that was actually approved about 2 days ago. But everything else is pretty good. The only thing that we're doing now is we're looking over cornbread, because that infamous oil leak that we had last year, I thought it was fixed. It's leaking again. So we got some things to look at on that. Oh, I can show you guys what else we were working on. So me and Dad were down here on a Sunday working on the turbo bike when he was helping me do his shock. Well, while he was helping me do that, we were also kind of taking the time to work on his bike. Dad's bike was this 04 Suzuki. Basically, it's a Volusia Intruder, but it's basically just a Boulevard, but it's the more economy version from what I understand. But anyway, we put some really slick looking white walls on this bike. It really changed the whole look of it. Dad's got to work on getting his seat reupholstered. And we did a little bit of polishing and cleaning up on the chrome. I debadged the side of this bike, good old heat gun. Took those massive logos off the side. Did a little bit of paint correction on that. And I mean, she's looking pretty good. But big thing here, though, is we got to get working on cornbread a little bit. And fingers crossed, the Busas will be out on the track here soon. Pink bike, still playing around with the whole clutch idea, trying to figure out what to do. I had a couple ideas. I talked with a couple other racers that run those options. And we have some options. So we're just going to see what kind of fits the bill and isn't too hateful to the wallet, and try to get that bike set up. If not, I have been contemplating. All right, guys, well, as you can hear, Mother Nature is pleasant to us. So we are up here at New Media Dragway, first time running up here. So New Media is NHRA Division 1. As far as I know, they're 8th mile. We're gonna head up here, go through tech inspection, letting the bike warm up a little bit, and we're gonna see what happens. Since Mother Nature was a little temperamental, and a lot of times people come to this track for the weekend because they do Saturday, Sunday racing, we're going to see how today plays out, because today was hit or miss with the weather. Tomorrow, same way, because weather's supposed to come through probably once we get done with competition today. So we got our tech card filled out. Let's go up here and go through tech, and should be ready to roll. All right, guys. Well, 2 time shots, and now round 1. We're through. So let me kind of go over it a little bit, because I didn't realize that my helmet camera had actually died. So first pass out was a 157 60 foot. I think the clutch was getting hot because the 2-step was too close to the stall while I backed the 2-step down. And then we went up for the second pass. So I backed the 2-step down, 200 RPM. It seemed to like it, but about 30 foot out, we lit the tire. So kept the same tune-up in it. Double checked my tire pressure, run a 10 PSI on that pass just so it would hook. And it hooked, squatted and left, but I think I have to double check. It was either first or the top of second. It started to float the tire, and I kind of just cheated, or like kind of blipped the throttle a little bit to get it to come back down. But good run against Kevin. Our reaction times were both very bad, but we were 1600ths off of each other on the reaction time, so it was still a tight race. But I chopped it early, and I still went under. My 60 foot was a 148, so the 60 foot's getting back to where we were.
but I have a feeling that what we're gonna do is I'm gonna drop the sprocket in the rear, go back to the ratio we had last year, which was a 1845, I believe, and I think there's a 46 on it right now. So we're gonna go back to the old ratio. Hopefully that fights the wheelies. If not, I could always go down lower because I do have a 44 tooth sprocket as well. That should work. But yeah, unfortunately we're out in round one. I'm gonna check for buybacks just to see how much they are. If it's cheap, we'll buy back. There's not many bikes. There's only 5 of us up here running. Jeff's daughter freaking putting on a clinic because she was #1 qualifier with her reaction time. And she's getting pretty consistent. I think she still ran under by like 100th or 200th or something like that. But we're gonna go up and run again. The bike's starting to feel better. I think we're gonna have to play with the shock because I'm thinking that I might have to check on why. The other part too is the bike's squeaking. And I can't tell if it's the body work because I have rubber grommets or what. Like it's squeaking on bounces for some reason or like bumps. So I got to see if it's that or if maybe the shock, if it's something with the spring being tight. But anyway, we're going to play with the sprockets probably another time, but we're going to see how much buybacks are, see if we can get back into this. All right, guys. Well, since Mother Nature didn't want to play ball with us at all, we're back home. I'm working on the trailer right now because after our day at the track, we were coming back from the media. I stopped on the highway, like right before I got off the back roads to get on the highway to come home because it's like a 30-mile drive on the highway, maybe 40. But you're doing like 70 the whole way. So get out, I checked the straps on the bike as usual. Well, when I did everything, made sure everything in the trailer stayed where it was supposed to and everything looked pretty good, as always. But we get home and I'm like, okay, well, let's get the bike out of the trailer. So me and Cassidy start messing with it. And I take notice that, I mean, you guys can see that there's light in here. That's from outside. The roof vent basically said ejecto cedo and freaking snapped all of the plastic and it took off. So before it rains any harder, I'm going to put a new one on. And then we're going to finish the video inside where it's not raining because right now it's starting to rain again. So, yeah. That's how it was on the way back. It was me trying to figure out how to get rain not to come in because rain was supposed to hit Saturday night after we raced and it was supposed to rain all day on Sunday. So, let's try and get this fixed before any more water comes inside. After a little bit of headache, we have a new vent. So, took a little bit longer than I planned. But all right, back in the garage. All right, guys. Well, we're back in the garage. We're pretty much going to wrap it up. Cornbread. Don't mind cornbread on the lift. Getting a little bit of TLC. But anyway, turbo bike is back in the garage. There's something on the floor. Hang on a second. Well, guys, that thing on the floor was one of the custom fuel lines that I made, what was that, early last year, has decided to leak. They were a little bit of a pain for me to do. I didn't exactly have all the best tools to do them myself, but I tried my best. And looks like I'll have to make a fresh one. Luckily, I have some leftover lines, so I should be able to do that without any problems. But other than that, turbo bike's ready to go. We're just going to play around with the sprocket ratio. I think I'm going to go down a tooth in the rear. Hopefully that fights the wheelies. Possibly up a tooth in the front. I'm not 100% sure yet if that's what I'm going to do. But it is an option because I have 16 tooth, 17 tooth, 18. I think I have a 19 laying around. That's probably brand new because I think I might have ordered it and not just run it. But anyway, turbo bike's ready. I just got to fix that fuel problem or that slight fuel leak. And yeah, I'm pretty much ready to go. So as always, guys, hope you liked the video. If you do, give it a thumbs up. And anything more about the bike, more about the companies that I use in order to keep all of these projects going, check that description down below. And as always, hit that subscribe button as well as the bell for notifications. I'll see you guys on the next one. As always, guys, ride safe, ride smart, always wear a helmet. See ya.